Alright, so I know this is a very old turd, but an old turd is still a turd, and a turd that needs to be responded to. So, without further ado, take it away, feminist.
You are a prick, do you know that?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a long one, people.
Hello everyone, this is Champion Man 90. Ugh! Damn it, I can't see a thing in this.
Hi guys! I wish I had a less generic intro. Alright, twats? It's a bit harsh, isn't it? Anyway.
Oh, you're so totally likeable. You're totally amazing to listen to, girl. You're not like any other feminist I've ever heard before.
Sometimes I do think that it would be easier to be a man in this world.
Oh, really? You think so? Really? Then you're gravely mistaken.
I don't know why. Oh, I'm supposed to be telling you why, aren't I?
Oh, look at me, I'm the manic dream pixie girl. Oh!
God, I'm bad at this.
Oh, look at me, I'm the manic dream pixie girl. Oh!
1. Sex. I don't speak much truth on my channel.
Another unintentionally honest statement. Incredible. You have a knack for this, girl.
But the difference between men and women in this situation is 100% fact and 100% bullshit.
I assume you mean that it's 100% truthful and the truth is, that's bullshit! Rather than, the kind of paradoxical notion that it can be factual but also bullshit. I assume that's what you mean, right?
Big night.
Oh my god, I'm so sore. Like, I can't tell you how many men banged me last night. I had one here, here. I think there was like 10 of them just all, just going at me, just ramming it.
Wow.
Honestly, it was crazy. So many.
I think this might push you slightly into the category of slut.
I can already see where this is going. How dare men talk about how many women they get, because apparently they're made a stud. Well, if women do that, they're a slut. But let's just see where it goes, people. This is totally not predictable.
Oh, big night.
Oh, I tell you what, I only just learnt to count high enough to count the women I went through last night.
No way.
You would not believe it.
Oh my god.
Menage are 38.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Dave, pimp.
Dropped
High five. Awesome work, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck. Wicked.
You see, I absolutely called it. I knew she was going to go in that direction. It's so weird, isn't it? It's just so weird. I've got psychic powers, clearly. Look, darling, okay? What happened there, with the first example of how he calls her a slut, is, in fact, what a slut is. Getting 10 guys in one night, putting them in each and every hole, blah, 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 without a care in the world as to what diseases she may be catching from any of these 10 guys, or what she might be giving to these 10 guys. What you saw in the second one is something that rarely happens anyway. Usually, when a man talks about all the girls he's had, it's over his lifetime, since he's been sexually active, not what he had in one night. Because usually, a man can only really pull one woman, or two, if he's lucky. If he's lucky. A woman can go around and get anyone she wants. She can go and get a man with the click of her fingers. Literally. Because women hold the power when it comes to dating and sex. Feminists know this, yet they will constantly deny this because ideology. They know this. They know they have the power, yet still they create this imaginary double standard that doesn't actually exist. And besides, in both scenarios, the actual response by anyone in that position would be too much information, lad, or lass. Can you please change the topic because I'm feeling rather uncomfortable right now? And besides, to paraphrase Jim Jeffries, you see, you're right, it is different being a stud than it is being a slut, because when it comes to sluts, you always see ugly ones, and you always see beautiful ones, and you'll see ones in the middle. With studs, you never see ugly studs. You never see unconfident studs. A stud has to be well-dressed, well-educated, charismatic. He has to be able to do all these different things in order to get one woman. A slut can just say sex, and she's going to get sex that night. That is the difference. That's the only difference. Manslags and sluts are both considered wrong. But studs and women who are promiscuous but are safe about it, they are respectful about it, totally fine, because everyone knows in this day and age you're going to have a lot more sexual partners than people 50 years ago. Okay? Next.
2. Men earn more than women?
On average, yes, we do earn more than women. But what do you think the reason is, people? I reckon it's because we're not paid more. Let's hope my psychic powers are correct once again, people.
I know.
Oh, it's so fair.
So, Tim.
Yeah.
So CV wise, it's not great. You don't really have anything on it. This is actually your first kind of job application ever. So you don't actually have any skills that fit the manager's the job that I'm looking for. But it's a difficult one. You have a penis.
Yeah.
So it's £100,000, and can you start tomorrow?
Yeah. Do I need to be sober?
Oh my god, you know what, I was going to just mock it, but I have to just mock it and also, correct it. I think you'll find, love, that this is not how men get jobs. I think you'll find this is how a lot of women get jobs, because of the quota system that a lot of companies have to operate through, because of affirmative action and other things like that. Because, the policies that the government implements because they think that things are unfair for a lot of people. Representation. I think you'll find that a man will not get that job, especially if he's white, based on his gender alone. If one person looks at that CV and he's aiming for a manager job and it's his first ever application, there's nothing on it, he's not going to get that job. A woman is far more likely to get that job doing something like that than a man. It's the complete opposite of what you are even trying to show here, and it's wrong. And that's not how you negotiate wages. Like, say £100,000. What the hell? You don't negotiate the wage in the interview. The wage is already there. It's by law. Have you noticed that nobody has ever been arrested so far in this year or any of the other years since the Equal Pay Act? Do you not think if women were paid less, there'd be more in the workforce? Do you not think that more companies would be reported? God, you are an idiot.
This is the best CV I have ever seen.
I've worked very hard over the years.
I can tell.
And I feel like my skills perfectly match the job that you're...
Yeah, no, exactly.
You're
It's
trying to fill.
perfect. It's perfect. I mean, I can't see any issues. I can't see any reason we can't offer you 100. I just remembered. Have you got a vagina?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, let's rework that number. Talk 25, 30. Okay, 6-day weeks, 10-hour days. 22.
And I'm guessing I can't have a baby.
Oh god, no, that'd be very difficult. That's not going to fit in with your shift at all.
Again, that's not how an interview works. You do not necessarily negotiate a wage at an interview. They already have the wage. And then depending on how you work, when you work, how good you work, at the end of that contract, you can then negotiate better pay. That's how it works. You do not negotiate the wage in the interview. In fact, you do not know if you're going to get the job in the interview, you fucking idiots. And that's not how it works. That is not how women are paid, and that's not how men are paid. Men and women are paid the exact same wage. We have a living wage at the moment, don't we? Of £6.70 something an hour, and we have the absolute minimum at £6.50, and 16-year-olds are paid less than that, depending on the job they do. You cannot pay a woman or a man less than that. You cannot. That is illegal. And again, actually, in this scenario, the man is less likely to get the job if the quota needs to be filled. Even if his CV is brilliant, even if he has more experience, the woman's far more likely to get the job if the quota needs to be filled. Because fuck meritocracy, representation.
I mean... I don't have any words. 3.
Oh, you're so funny. Gulag.
I, Emily Hartridge, want to be able to pee whenever and wherever I feel like it, but I can't.
Yeah, you can. Just squat behind a tree, look out for people, and piss. That's what you do. That's what men do. Oh, wait, we can't now because the law was changed last decade, and now it's a public nudity act just to piss in public or even behind a tree. Yeah, we're not harming anyone. It's just piss. You can cover the whole thing with your hands, and nobody's gonna see it. But apparently, that's a public nudity thing, and it's gonna scare people. It's wrong, and we should, not do it. I mean, even though it is, unhygienic, at least it fucking dissipates and disappears quickly. It's not like allowing your dog to shit anywhere and not clean it up, And especially when you're doing it away from people, you don't want to get caught and noticed. See, if a man did it, he'd get arrested. A woman, probably not. It's just slap around the wrist and say, don't do that again, love.
Men, on the other hand...
Hold on, I need to pee.
Oh, okay. Do you want to go somewhere and... No?
Let's go.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but that's not how it works. A man doesn't just say, oh, I'm just going to go have a piss here, mate, alright? No, that's not how it works. It's a last resort. If there are no public toilets within like a mile radius, we have no choice but to do it in a public place. Because there's no toilets. And that's why people have started to erect these weird toilets that are kind of out in the open. It covers your area and they're exposed. They're not like built toilets. You know what I mean? You see them at football matches and you see them in town squares. That's why these toilets exist. so that men don't have to do it in public, around an alleyway or something. It keeps everything clean. That's not how it works. It's a last resort. We don't just go, yeah, taking the piss. Alright, this isn't the Middle Ages, mate. We don't live in those times anymore.
Men have something to play with if they get a bit bored. The video.
I assume you mean the penis. You also have like 3 things to play with when you're bored. You've got your boobs and your vagina. I'm just saying. Women can masturbate too. And by the way, we don't usually play with our penis when we're bored. We've got a thing called video games. We've got our phones. You're treating us like we're animals. This entire video is nothing but men are animals that can do what they want. Freewheeling bloody foxes that go around. You know, sorry, I've just seen the intro to Animals of Farthing Wood, so that's why I said fox, alright? But yeah, this is what she seems to think that we are. We're like dogs who go around doing nothing like, oh, I'm bored, I'm gonna watch my penis flap around as I mess with it. No, we don't do that.
Video content strategy in the company really need to be thinking top end. So we're going to start working with influencers, and we're going to try and get really 10 brands, you know, like P&G, Netflix, Heineken, really brands. So the influencers are going to want to work with this. You know, yeah. Are you on board with this? Are you understanding? Yeah. Yeah. What are you doing?
Carol?
Actually, that could work for a woman too, couldn't it?
Yes, it could. You notice how she puts it in impossible situations. You know, this is a boardroom meeting and the guy's messing with his dick. I don't do that. I've never met a guy who does that at all. At work. Or anywhere, really. Notice how the woman's the one who's there. She'd most likely not be there. No, I'm joking, people. Even though they don't work as much. But hey, whatever.
5. I mean, men have their very own alarm clocks. Dave, you awake? Dave, I can see you're awake. Fuck's sake.
You do realise you just said that men cannot have erections unconscious. You do realise that that is absolutely stupid and it's quite sexist. And this is probably one of the reasons why people think that men cannot be raped. Just saying, that's slightly sexist. But hey, it's okay because when a woman does it, it's alright. But when a man does it to a woman, oh god, no, that's horrible. It's sexist, it's disgusting. Really. I mean, a man who has a terrible knowledge of female anatomy, oh my god, sexist. A woman? Nah, it's fine, mate. It's fine.
I didn't think of this reason. My male friend did. Apparently, you can turn it into a helicopter?
What? How does that make life any easier if you're a man? None of these things prove that being a man is easier. None of these things prove anything is easier. What, do you mean putting it around and around when it's flaccid? That's not even remotely interesting, nor does it make being a man good. I don't think I've done that since I was a kid.
Wow, oh, that is just, I see what you mean. It's like a helicopter. Oh my god, it's like a helicopter. Is this a bit weird we're doing this on our first date?
No, it's cool.
I understand that comedy needs exaggeration sometimes, but fucking hell, there is a point when exaggeration just does not make it funny. Why would you do that? I've not done that to anyone I've been on a date with. I've not even done it to anybody else, but for my own amusement. That is stupid. This doesn't even make sense. None of this makes sense. Feminism. Fucking hell.
7? You as men don't have thousands of years telling you that you should be cooking, cleaning, making as many babies as possible, and
hello, making babies is a two-way street. We have been told for thousands and thousands of years by religion, by the tribe, by the nation state to help create babies with women. Even if you are gay, you are shamed into getting into a relationship to make babies. Not anymore. I'm not saying that this is the case now. I just meant back in the day, you know, when it was Christianity and other religions that held sway over everyone. We were told to go forth and multiply. Women cannot make babies on their own. Even with IVF, even with stem cells and other stuff, you still need male tissue. Somebody has to donate their shit in order for this to work. We're not even allowed to clone this shit, and even then you'd need loads of single guys giving their DNA for that. And by the way, that's unfair because the greatest cooks in history have almost always been men. Even right now, all the greatest cooks are men. Hardly any are female. Not unmanly to cook, and men have been told to cook for the rich, the elite, for the homeless, whatever, blah 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 blah. We have been told to do this. We were the hunters, remember? We're the ones who got all the shit in order to eat, and we most likely also cooked it with you, but hey, whatever.
Really obey to anything that the man wants.
Not really. See my go-to ancient response to the Spartans. The women could almost pretty much do whatever they wanted. Because, you know, strong free women means strong free babies. But hey, whatever. History. Too much nuance.
All you need to do is go to work, apparently.
You know what, I would say that's not the only thing we do, but let's just stick with this. Yeah, we are 90% of all workplace deaths. We live drastically shorter lives because we work so much, and because so many of us die at work. We do all the difficult and hard jobs that women just do not want to do. You know, they have the freedom of choice to do whatever they want to do, but you know, the feminists aren't interested in gender equality there. They're all interested in the cozy white collar jobs and the political jobs, because that's where the power is. There's no power in being a sewage worker or a construction worker, is there? There's no, even in the bloody army, as more women join, there's still not a lot, and it's only been recently since they're allowed to fight. So yeah, it's not easy doing all of the work for all those thousands of years, not only to protect you, but to build up this society and to keep it running. You should kind of be thankful that we just have to work and you lot just have to, you know, stay at home and look after kids and cook. That is nothing compared to the stress and toil 65 to 70 years of work does to someone. And that's why we die earlier than you. But that's okay. We're just men. We just work. That's all we have to do. And that's just based on your conclusion there. That's based on your stupid assertion.
I despair. I really do. 8!
Yeah, because, you know, just cooking and shit, making babies, that's hard, isn't it? It is hard to rear and look after a baby, you know, when a man is no longer there because of the courts, you know. It'd be a lot easier if the man had a lot less time to work and a lot more time to look after the kids. And actually not be, you know, thrown out of it because you said you don't want him there for any reason whatsoever. But hey, I digress. I despair.
Men have their very own free skin cream that's full of protein and available whenever they want.
You'll talk about sperm. Since when was sperm a skin cream or used as skin cream by men? No one ever wipes their sperm on themselves. That's unhygienic. That's disgusting. What the hell? How does that make life as a man better? If anything, that would make it worse because it stinks after a while. That's disgusting.
Oh, and your very own natural antidepressant.
You do realise that you can masturbate too and initiate those pheromones or whatever they're called to make you also feel happy about yourself too. And it doesn't actually help that much because men still kill themselves more than women do. I know you make me say, but women attempt suicide more. Yeah, but usually it's not necessarily to kill themselves. Women usually do it as a cry for help, not necessarily to kill themselves. The fact remains is men are killing themselves more. Oh, and by the way, it's also usually conflated with self-harm. Women self-harm more than men, and for some reason that's considered a suicide attempt when it's not. It's different.
Want some?
No.
No man would ever ask that to a woman. He'd get arrested.
9. You as men don't live in constant fear of getting pregnant.
No, we live in constant fear of making people pregnant, actually. Again, it's a two-way street. Do none of these people even know how science works?
Oh yeah, this is brilliant.
Oh, right, I needed a laugh today.
You know last night, right?
Yeah.
I said I was wearing a condom.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
What?
This whole scenario doesn't make sense. How would she not notice that he wasn't wearing a condom? It's a thing made out of rubber and it's made of multiple different colours. It's not hard to see it, nor is it hard to feel it as well, because it would feel different from skin. Just saying, this is stupid.
I wasn't even wearing one.
Are you joking?
No.
Are you what? So I could be...
Oh yeah.
Oh, fuck!
Yeah, I know.
Fuck! I need to go and test
That was actually a joke. That was still a joke.
And 10.
It's just a prank, bro. It's just a prank, bro. God. Never mind that there's actual horror stories of women doing this thing to men in order to get pregnant, but hey, never mind.
And finally, the last reason is because then I could send dick pics.
How? Why would that make a life for men any better? Didn't make life better for Dick Coughlin, did it? I mean, you've got your boobs, you've got your ass, you've got your vagina, you've got loads of things to show people. We've only got a dick, and maybe muscles, if you have any. And even then, that could be considered harassment for sending people that shit. And if you never ever sent it, like Dick, he never sent any of those pics at all. The closest they ever got was something in his underpants. And if that's considered harassment, even though it was consensual, I don't know what is.
Which really impresses girls.
Yeah, that's why you get us arrested for them.
Oh, babe, it was so cute when you sent me that picture at lunch today when I was with my parents.
I know, right?
Thank
I
you.
knew that's what you'd want.
I know. It's like, it's good you know me. I was like, just chatting to my mum about my day, and I was like, I wish my boyfriend would send me a picture of his penis.
I know, and I
Then
did.
you did.
I know, and I did, yeah.
Thank you.
I'm good.
You're sweet.
I know.
Oscar-worthy performances. This is what they think men are like. Psychopaths, idiots, don't really care, don't give a fuck, do what they want. When that's not the case at all. People think they're a hate movement.
Said no one ever.
Yeah, precisely, because none of these things that you have shown actually really happen. The only way that scenario could happen was if he didn't know she was at her parents'. How would he know? Unless she told him. And even then, it's a dick move. No pun intended. And besides, some women do like dick pics. That's why couples send them to each other. That's why the fappening happened. Women were the only ones who were leaked in that whole scenario like a year ago. And, you know, I could point to 2 examples of men who have had their shit leaked. We've had Hulk Hogan, who was recently sued and won his case against Gawker, who are run by men. And The Amazing Atheist also had nudes leaked by the very women that he was doing it for. So I'm just wondering,
So there you go. 10 reasons why I wish I was a man.
They're the worst reasons. Hardly any of them happen, and some of them are complete falsehoods. Incredible. You know, I would show clips from that CNN or whatever news story it was of this woman pretending to be a man and being shocked about how hard it was to actually be a man. But we're running out of time. We're breaking the 20-minute mark, and I just want to get this over and done with. You can go watch it yourselves, people.
Anyway, massive thank you to Dave for helping me out. Yeah, anyway, goodbye and have a good week. Oh, and someone said, will I be moving somewhere that I'm not under a flight path? Because actually there's a plane going over now. The answer is no. The flight path will still be there.
Boring, boring, give me material. Boring, boring, please give me material.
Wicked!
Thanks.
I'm so excited about this!
I just walked off my cup of tea.
Yeah, this is really so fun.
Just a joke, bro. We don't want to take your rights away.
I'm professional.
You look so fun. You're putting so much into it.
I know, now I've got to do it again.
No. And this is quite an eye-opening turd of a video, people, because feminists kind of really do want to be a bit like men, don't they? If you think about it. All the short hair, the aggression, the want for power and control, all these things that they want. It's incredible, isn't it? But anyway, what do I know? See you later, guys.